Today, I just want to spend a few minutes, it's not a very long video, just talking about a skill called 54321. It's something that's been around for a while, and it's also something that has really been, I don't want to say overkill, but maybe overkill, and not in the good way, if there is a good way for that. Anyway, let me explain what I mean. I worked on a crisis line for a while, and oftentimes, if somebody's calling a crisis and they were very anxious or whatnot, um, we would recommend to try to do this grounding skill called 54321. And people were like, yes, yes, I know it. And fair enough, but walk me through it. So tell me how you do it. And they would just say, yes, yes, five things in the room: wall, picture, computer, phone, whatever, right? And yet their anxiety was still elevated. You could hear it in their voice. You could almost feel it through the phone. Uh, and I just want to really give some thought back to the skill because I think it's a good one. It's just been used incorrectly by many people, and it has some value. So I was hoping to maybe bring the skill to you for all you lovely anxiety sufferers out there like myself, and let's see how it works for you if it's done correctly, okay? So to begin, you have to know a little bit about anxiety. And when our body is revved up in an anxiety, I'm not going to say an attack, but it's escalated. Your anxiety's escalated. You can feel it either in your chest or just you're shaky or you feel really light or jittery. We know now that you have a physiological response and it's activated, okay? Like, we're not even thinking about our thoughts prolonging it at this point in time. We can feel that it's there. You might hear my dog bark any minute. Hold on. It's the joys of working from home, I swear. I have two big dogs and they just saw some squirrels. So, back to it. With anxiety, when we are activated, grounding works because we're really trying to bring our system from this super elevated state back down to more of, I can't say baseline because we each have our own. And so let's say of a calmer, kind of smoother, relaxed area. One that's not riddled in anxiety. And to do that, we really have to not feed into the anxiety process, and we do that mostly with our thoughts, okay? So, like I told you before, we have our anxiety system, it's going into overdrive, we feel really anxious, we have all these physical sensations, and this is when the thoughts start kicking in. Oh my God, here we go again. Oh, I can feel my heart rate, my heartbeat's going up. Oh, my breathing's getting worse. I might be having a heart attack. All of these thoughts, it's literally us putting fuel on the fire. And so that's why this grounding skill is really trying to wrench our attention away from our physical sensations. So it gives our bodies a chance to just work that anxiety out. Because if you leave it alone, it is going to go away. It's hard to believe, but it will. And basically give ourselves enough time for that to happen and not throw fuel on the fire. So when people say, name five things that you can see, this is what I usually hear is a rapid fire, a list of five things in their immediate vicinity. And then they're like, yeah, well, now what? Well, that's the problem. We have to slow that down. So if you are going to tell me, I see the wall in front of me, Crystal, at the other end of the phone, I'd say, okay, tell me about that wall. What color is it? Oh, it's green. And so your response is probably going to be really quick because you're in this high anxious state, right? So what I'm going to try to do is, okay, you see the wall, you said it's green. What color of green is it? What texture is it? Is it shiny? Is it matte? Is it bumpy? Is it smooth? And you're kind of gonna probably gonna try to rapid fire those responses back. But the thing is I keep on drawing your attention away from your body and back into describing that one thing. So far, it's just the wall, right? And we know, and as somebody who's done it myself, I know that when you're describing these things, your attention, it's immediately going to try to go back to hyper monitoring your symptoms. Oh, the wall is green. Oh my God, it's getting worse. That's when we had to say, stop, let's wrench that attention back, come back to the wall. What's the wall feel like? Is it hot? Is it cold? Is it cool? Right? Spend enough time on that. And then what's the next thing you can see? Oh, my computer. Okay, well, what kind of computer is it? What color is it? What texture is it? Right? And throughout all of this, once again, your thoughts are probably going to race back to monitoring the symptoms. This is when we have to, once again, direct ourselves back to describing what it is you're describing. And this is all just so we can let that anxiety response run its course and not prolong it by, some of these thoughts that we have. And of course, you don't have to name, 4 other things, 3 other things, and then go on to another sense, like smell or whatnot. If describing visual things works for you and you can do it well and focus enough that it actually lets your body do its own thing and calm down, okay, then that's fine, right? They recommend other senses too. It's just it activates more areas of your brain, and sometimes people, they can just focus more when it's on sounds or it's on smells or tastes, right? So it's really what works best for you. I really wanted to kind of elaborate the skill a little bit more because I think it works, and I do see it work in other people. It's just you have to know how to do it well in order for it to do its job, right? So spend time with what you're describing and really dive into what you're describing, regardless if it's a sight, if it's a sound or a smell or touch. It's all in an effort to wrench our attention away from that physiological response that we're having in our bodies so it can just do its own thing, and then we can eventually ride out that wave of anxiety without going into a panic attack. So I encourage everybody to try it and spend more time with it, because if you just rapid fire off those things, it's not going to do what you want it to do. All right? So good luck, and I hope it works.